Hi, good afternoon. I thought I'll just give a quick demonstration of how to find data on the internet and do a graph. Maybe, just maybe, you're interested in churches and the number of people that's in certain denominations and churches. So here's a very quick data set. I'll share my screen with you. Share screen. If you go, what did I do? Let's go take one step back. I simply Googled public available data about churches. And one that came up is the Australian Bureau of Statistics. Click on this button here, and out comes a graph, or here's at any rate data, which can be converted into a graph. Now, I'm going to do exactly this. Download the data. You can click on this download button. Download it as an XLSX dataset. It will typically go into your so-called downloads folder. And you can see here it added a 1 because I actually got this particular dataset already there. So let me go there. And if you double click on the dataset, if you download it as an Excel spreadsheet and you double click on that dataset, I'm going down to my downloads folder. Come on, downloads, where are you? Yeah, there's the dataset, religious affiliation in Australia, 1971 to 2021. If you double click on it, it will open it up in Excel. And it tells you Christianity, other religions, or people that don't believe in God at all anymore. So how can we draw a graph? We're interested in what's happening. Is it increasing? Is it decreasing? You sometimes go and listen to talks and you have the feeling that Christianity is increasing and more people are becoming Christians. But what does the actual data say? And there is the data set. In this particular case, interestingly enough, you don't even need to do a pivot table as we've done in previous occasions. You can merely highlight the data like this and then go insert. Okay, you need to switch on enabling editing, insert, enable editing. But you see, I highlight the data with all the headings from here to there. I can go insert. And the graph that I want is this line graph. And we'll do this as part of this course. So all I have to click on is there. And voila, there's the graph. And I can give it a nice title, change in Christianity over time, 1971 to 2021. Okay, I can right click, and as I have now demonstrated a couple of times, you can format the data area, you can fill it. I particularly want to fill it with solid and make it some lightish color like that. Click on this portion here and solid fill it, and solid fill it with white. I particularly like this design, so to speak, where you have a lightish colored border. I would typically go around as well and change these colors. These are primary colors, and it's better to actually choose lighter shades of color. But okay, overall, you can see here Christianity is declining. It went from, and you can, if you highlight on this point, you highlight this point, come on, and you right click. Okay, it's always good to add a data label. It went from 86% and highlight this point, add data label, to 43.9%, while no religion if that's even possible, has gone from 6.7% to 38%. And then, oh, sorry, that was in other religions. I'm actually surprised. I would have thought Hinduism and other religions is increasing faster. Sometimes a bit tricky to get the exact point, but by just clicking, you can get it. That's gone from 0.8% to 10%. Now, somebody has asked me the report that you have to do for the analysis. Say, for argument's sake, you've decided you're going to use this data. This data is too simplistic. So, yep, it's good for a start, but it's too simplistic. And I'm going to try and get another data set that's a bit more complex, which you can use for your assignment. But now, what kind of report do I give on this? I can now Control C, which copy this graph. I highlighted the graph. I can go into my Word document. I would really, really recommend that you take this exact example and work through it until, as you can see, it takes me, what, 5 or 10 minutes to do it. See if you can do it in that time. Now, look carefully here. When I paste it as a picture. It's the simplest and most effective way to do it. Now, what does a typical report look like? A typical report is obviously got a heading: report on the change in Christianity and other religions from 1971 to 2021. Okay, so that's your header. You make it nice and bold. If it's a biggish report, you would put this on its own page and write something like analysis done by, and so on and so on. But for the moment, let's just stick to that. The typical heading that you want to do is so-called executive overview. It will be well worth your while, if you think you're going to write reports of any kind, to practice a little bit using the things that is available under Word. So I'm going to use, and I call this heading 1. And then, so I want to write an executive overview, and then I want to give background. And I want to make that also a heading 1. As an example, and then I want to analysis and 1, just okay. What did I do in this analysis? Sorry for that telephone interruption. At any rate, what I was saying is call it analysis 1, and now I can give it a description. This is drawing a line chart of the percentage. Okay. This is drawing a line chart of the percentages for Christianity, other religions and no religion. Okay, Christianity is not spelled correctly, so comma. Okay, you can have an okay, so analysis 1, I'm going to make a heading 2, and this description, I'm going to make it bold. So unbold it, just highlight description, bold. And then typically, I think you should write before you actually do the analysis, what is your expectation? What is my expectation? And whatever, what was your expectation? I expect Christianity to stay roughly the same, or whatever your expectation. That was my expectation, okay? And then you can have something actual result. Actual result. This is the actual result, and now you can have a discussion, and then you have conclusion, discussion. It is clear that Christianity declined over the past 50 years, is it? 50 years. It declined from 86.2% of the population to only 43.9%. Okay, it says Christianity decline. No religion increased from 6.7% to 38.9% over the past 50 years. And religion, other religions increased from okay, so other religions increased from 0.8% to 10%. So what I want here in the discussion is literally, what do you see on the graph? Imagine yourself, you have to just explain to a blind person what's here. And I know sometimes it feels ridiculous because you're telling somebody which they theoretically should see on a graph. But you'll be surprised. People generally can't necessarily read these graphs, and you need some sort of explanation. Now, my question to you is, What else do you see in this graph? I can see a couple of at least two more things of how the increase have changed. And it looks to me like some sort of acceleration, and clearly you can do that. So what overall conclusion can we draw? Christianity is in decline. And if you want to be more clear on it, you can say people that identify with Christianity in census data is in a decline. Over the past 50 years. I don't know what the problem is here. What did they want? Census. Okay, census is spelled like that. Okay, so here's a very simplistic, simple report. And now we can go back to executive overview. What's the executive overview? Christianity is on the decline, while no religion is on the increase in Australia. I'm just giving you an example, and if this is a report which I have to do in any case, I would elaborate on that to make sure all my spelling is correct and I have a consistent way. Background. This report is based on ABS. Okay. And so based on ABS, Australian Bureau, I don't know how you spell Bureau of Statistics data. Okay, you full stop, C, can change my, can go and get the website reference, Control C. And obviously you can give far more background, what made you decide on the particular type of analysis that you've done and so on. So you can elaborate this a lot. So in a typical report, this will be analysis 1, and then you'll repeat the same analysis. So in a typical situation that I do is I go repeat that as my framework, and then make this analysis 2, description, this actual result. I'll obviously put whatever new result I have in. This is a very, very simple example, and typically the data you need to choose must be much richer than this. So let me see if I can quickly identify data that's, as I've said, richer. So I go back to my search result. Is there any other Okay, here's a data world example. There are 26 religious data sets available on data world. Let's see what they are. Come on. World religious data correlation. Tag religion, national, regional, 3 tables. Dated. Okay, this is 6 years ago, so maybe not as relevant. I saw there was data access to NCLS results and data sets. Okay, if we don't find something useful easily here, then public domain servers in the public domain are available on request, and in many instances free of charge as well. Okay, so one thing you can do is write to NCLS. It's a good organization. We as a church are using them often, and see if you can find data from them. But at any rate, any kind of data, I've now given you an example of how to analyze numeric data, which we will deal with in the course. Well, I hope you enjoy it. I still think you should repeat that exact same and see if you can get the exact same result as I had. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me share. And that is all for now. Blessings.